How's it going, everybody? My name is Developer Number 9, and this is my Level 3 Iron Man progress series on old school RuneScape. In the last episode, we opened up a ton of Wintertod crates and used up all of the resources we got there for our fletching grind. On this episode, we're going to finish base 90s on this account. That's right, all trainable skills, level 90 or above on a level 3 Iron Man. And then we're going to talk about what's next. But first, I think this resource pack might be getting a little polarizing. I've had some comments about it, so we're going to switch it up a little bit to the OSRS Dark theme. This is closer to the official color scheme. It uses the official icons here, but just a little bit darker because I really can't stand the default brown. It's so hideous. So we're going to switch that a little bit. Maybe that'll be more familiar to you. And then, without further ado, this right here, all we got to do is click this button. Are you ready for it? Base 90s on the level 3 Iron Man. Oh man, does that ever look clean. 90 runecraft, 90 fletching, 99 construction and crafting and fishing. So many great stats on this account. We can now make amethyst darts. Probably will never do that. Dragon arrows? I actually will be doing that. We have a little bit of dragon arrows in the bank. Might as well use them. Just get that 9,000 XP. No reason not to. And there we go. That is a very, very nice achievement. I'm very happy with that. Looks like we made a few too many broad arrows. A little bit more than I meant to. I'll probably just save those for later in the bank. For now, they go. We also have a $500 million bank. I did not notice that before, that we were getting close to that, but maybe you did. I certainly didn't. $500 million on a level 3 Iron Man. Never traded with anyone. Never done any raids. Never done any raids is kind of, maybe debatable. I do have one Chambers of Xeric KC. I had, I think, like less than 1,000 points. I got basically no loot on it, so don't get too excited about that. I do one day want to oh, there 50k. I got 17 Lanta Dimes and 26 Adior. That's my so you subtract 47k, and then we can say we're raidless. I do one day post max want to look at raiding on this account. I have a max main that I'm pretty proficient with solos on. We'll do some dolos, see if we can get some perps on this account. But before we get there, we got some more skilling to focus on. So what's next for the account? Previously, before starting this progress series, my goal was to go after base 90s towards base 95s. Starting with runecraft. However, 90 to 95 runecraft would take me about a month. And a month of progress videos being nothing but runecraft would not be very good content. So we're going to switch that up. We're going to shorten it a little bit, and we're going to aim for base 92s next. So 92 runecraft, herb lore, fletching, smithing, mining, cooking, fire making. Starting with runecraft, aiming for level 92. We're going to be doing a mix of GotR and blood runes. We do need some more blood runes to be able to afford everything that we need for 99 fletching. If we go over and take a look at the calculator real quick, our target level is going to be 99. We're going to need arrow shafts, we're going to need headless arrows, and we're going to need broad arrows. We're going to need 680,000 actions, so that's 680,000 broad arrows. And if we do 680,000 on the calculator, and we assume that they cost around 58 GP each, and that a blood rune is worth 200 GP, we're going to need 197k blood runes to sell to Ali to afford that, and we do not have that in the bank right now. We only have 70k, so we're going to need a little over 100k more bloods to be able to afford that. So that's how we're going to do. We're going to get that from runecraft. So we're going to split the time between Zaya runecraft for the money and GotR, just because I enjoy GotR, and we got some collection log items to work on. So the first thing we're going to do right now in this video is GotR. So I'm going to hop over there. We're going to talk about the setup and the rotation on a level 3 Iron Man, look at our current collection log, and what we're hoping to get. So let's fly on over there. And apparently my Amulet of the Eye is missing. Not sure how I lost that, so I guess we'll be using the minigame teleport. So here we are at Guardians of the Rift. I do have the full Raymond's outfit, so we'll be wearing that just to get a few extra runes on this grind. Not that they're too useful, but they're nice for bank value. Inventory is pickaxe, of course. Cannot wield the rune pickaxe. Colossal pouch I already have on the scan, so we'll use that. And the abyssal pearls. I don't have a good way of repairing this by contacting the dark mage. It's very difficult to get into the abyss, and I obviously don't have NPC contact, so I use the pay to repair feature inside the mini game. There's a NPC you can talk to, so I keep those pearls on me just so I can pay to repair her mid game or between games if I have to without leaving the lobby. For collection log, wrong menu. You can see we got the full raiments. We got one of each dye and the needle. So we're really looking for the lost bag. We still need 2 more dyes to recolor the bag, and the Amulet of the Eye are both possible to recolor. Obviously the lantern would be a very nice upgrade, because then I could equip that with redwood logs with our newly achieved 90 fire making and not have to carry the pearls. That would free up an inventory space. That would be real nice. And obviously the pet itself. We'll probably be, I'm not sure if I'm going to save all of the contracts or all of the points for the very end, or if we'll do them in little bits as we go. We'll see how I'm feeling. But without further ado, in case you've never seen this minigame, I'm going to hop to a GotR world, and we're going to talk about how the rotation of this game works. So I see a lot of people that don't know this, but if you come to this barrier and right-click peek it, it will tell you what % of the game is over. So I usually just hop around the GotR worlds, peeking on the barrier, trying to find one that's the closest to 100%, and then wait there. So this one's at 84%. That's pretty close, and we're gonna wait here. Yeah, in case you didn't know that, that low peak, it helps a lot in sanity of waiting. So the easiest way to get in here, and really the only way when you're on busy worlds, is to just spam click with quick pass set as your left click default. But sometimes when you do that, you might end up entering and then immediately leaving with quick pass. So on the plugin hub, there's a plugin called Guardians of the Rift Helper you'll see on the sidebar there, and that has this very nice option, add cooldown to quick pass, which will disable you from leaving the game immediately after entering it. So I highly recommend that, as well as the rest of these notifications. Now, starting with the first trick I like in this game, if you click on the large pile and then immediately open a skilling interface, this will open a stall, and as soon as the game starts, it will clear your stall and you'll start mining. So when you're going between games, you'll get about an extra minute of AFK time here in the mine, which is very nice. And while we're waiting for this first inventory to come in, I like to get to about 150 shards before we go mining. You'll also see no chisel. Call me a leech if you want to, but I don't usually do batteries. I just don't find that they're worth the points and the effort. But these are the settings that I use for the Guardians of the Rift Helper plugin. So after I get my 150 shards, we'll head over to the table and talk a little bit more about how this game works. So I like to come out of this mine when there's about 10 seconds left on the clock before it starts. So we run over to the workbench to build the first inventory, and this one I don't use the pouch for. We're just going to fill the inventory. Now let's talk about altars. So there's the elemental and catalytic. So on a level 3 Iron Man specifically, this is where things start to get a little interesting and very specific. I'm not even going to try for the nature altar. I'm not going to hit it here. Shouldn't have even tried for the air, apparently. A lot of the catalytic altars are not possible to access on a level 3 Iron Man. For example, the blood altar right there is not possible. I can't do Sins of the Father. I can't get to Mauritania. So, because of that, we always want to prioritize the catalytic altars when it's something that I can do, the nature or the chaos or even the body. because to even out the reward permits, because you can't do law, you can't do death, you can't do blood, and you can do cosmic, but I haven't done that quest yet. I really should, and I told myself before I come back to GOTR I would do Lost City and unlock the cosmic altar. Oh well, I didn't do it. So that's why we always want to prioritize the catalytic altars when we can. I'm probably not going to make it to the air altar here, so we're just going to wait for the refresh. Maybe we'll get a good catalytic, and there we go, we do with the nature. So there we go. So what I do there is, at the beginning of these games, is when there's 10 seconds left on the clock. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to do... I'm not very good at this, apparently. Yeah, I'm a little rusty on GOTR. When there's 10 seconds left on the clock, head out of the mine, craft a full inventory, and then go into the second rotation of altars, dump that inventory off, and by then usually the first portal has spawned. Go into that portal and fill it up, and from there the rotation's pretty consistent. As long as you don't mess up too much, you should be able to get one inventory of crafting and then a portal, one of inventory of crafting and then a portal, very consistently. I found before I got the colossal pouch, it was more like 2 to 1, 2 crafting inventories between portals, and sometimes it wouldn't even be quite perfect. You'd sometimes end up just missing a portal, and it kind of sucked. So having the colossal pouch here is really nice. But that's pretty much it for the rotation. I mean, at this point, it's just switching back and forth between crafting and portaling, and I repair the colossal pouch every other game. I find that works out pretty well. So I'm going to finish this game, and a lot more of them, and I'll see you back with any RC milestones that we get. Sometimes I have a little extra time between the portal spawning, and I don't want to start crafting because I know it's going to spawn any second, and this helper is really good for that. So I'll just go to the mines and grab a few extra shards. And here's going to be the end of the first game here. We are starting at 416 KC. And I also just wanted to show this is the person you talk to get your pouches repaired. I'll also add, if you don't have the colossal pouch and you don't have all this equipment, I do have on my channel a video on how to do GOTR with basically no equipment, starting from nothing on a level 3. So do check that out if you're trying to just get started with this minigame. And this is totally not a screenshot. I didn't miss level 100 crafting. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, I think this is the first game I've ever gotten only catalytic energy, and a lot of it too. Pretty sweet. And at the end of this game, we're coming in with 91 runecraft. Double nats. That's a pretty sweet achievement. And we're at 431 GOTR KC. My reward points are a little unbalanced here. On the road from 91 to 92, I'm going to work on rebalancing those, because usually on this build you want to always go catalytic because it's so much more rare, because there are a lot of catalytic altars you can't use. But it seems like I got a lot of good luck there, so we'll have to intentionally go elemental a little bit on the next level. And as I set up for this farm run, looks like big sad, we are out of herb seeds again. Looks like I'm gonna have to spend some time at the farmer before I head back to GotR. And I think we're gonna call this episode there. This time we finished off base 90s on the level 3 Ironman and got into some GOTR and our first runecraft level there in some time on the account. Next time we're going to work on some thieving to replenish that seed stock, maybe get a whole level there, work on finishing off that next RC level up to 92, and cash out those GOTR points and see what kind of sweet loot we get. Maybe if you're lucky we'll even do Lost City finally. I've been putting that quest off for years to get the Cosmic Altar at GOTR. But that's all for next time, and I will see you guys then. Bye bye.